your name has actually come up on this podcast quite a bit from a number of actors. Most significantly, I think of Jodie Comer, who's been a frequent
Oh,
guest on Happy, Sad, Confused, and she is always very open and talking about. I mean, who knows? It might have happened in a different way, but you were the one that kind of really connected her very early on. So, do we have you to thank for Jodie Comer's career, Stephen?
yes, very sweet of Jodie. She's wonderful. She's like my little sister. And that's very, very lovely what she says. I do believe, hopefully, no matter what, her talent would have shone through. But for that particular instance, we were doing a little program called The Good Cop. I think it was on BBC back in the day. I think she may have been 17, maybe 18 at the time,
Right.
possibly. And we had two scenes, and I met her on the day, and I was like, "Hello, I'm Stephen," and my character was kind of a horrible man, kind of very grotesque. You know what I mean? And it was and he was meant to grab hold of it in a certain area, and I wanted to make sure this was before the days of
Intimacy coordinators and that whole thing.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
before all of that time. And I just said to Jodie, look, I want to make sure that you're comfortable. Is it okay if I put my hand there and the camera will think it's there? And she was like, yeah. And she was really sweet and really lovely. And I was like, okay, I just want to make sure you're comfortable and you feel safe. And then, what I'm about to do, but just let's make sure that you're fine with it and you're happy. And she was like, yeah, not a problem. We had a really nice little conversation. And then we rehearsed the scene. And as soon as we rehearsed the scene, I just went, see, I've just been working with another young actor on Ashley Walters' piece that I think I mentioned. Ashley, I'm doing something for Ashley at the moment. Ashley's directing a film, and I worked with a young actor on that. And first and foremost, I think some people get a bit freaked out occasionally sometimes with me in rehearsals because I'm a fan. I love acting. I'm an acting fan. So when I'm in a rehearsal process, I'm kind of 50% the character and
Right.
50% Stephen. So if you do something that excites me, I'm like, wow, that's brilliant. You're lovely. And people kind of go, where's he at? And Jodie did that. And I just remember thinking, she is unbelievable. She's absolutely fantastic. The way she dives straight into that moment. And I was playing like I said, a kind of gruesome man. But you can't, personally, I feel that you can't play status. Status has to be given to you by the other actors. You know what I mean? In many ways.
Sure.
And Eddie Marsden does that beautifully and amazingly in a film called Gangster Number One with Paul Bettany and a scene in the kitchen. So she tapped straight into that kind of quality, and I was just blown away by her. And then I asked her a couple of questions afterwards, and I just said, "Who's your agent? What kind of work have you been going up for?" And she said, "Not a lot." And she said, "The quality of one or two things." And no disrespect to the people that do them jobs, I just thought she was capable of a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, and I had a word with my agent, and then I said, "You need to take this girl on. She's phenomenal." And Jodie was actually, I phoned Jodie, and she was on a train going to London for an audition, and I said, "Don't go for that audition. Go and meet my agent." And she was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I was like, "Trust me, honestly, trust me. If you trust me at all, do me this one thing. Go and meet my agent. Don't go for that audition."
Wow.
And she did, and she met Jane, and Jane fell in love with her, and the rest is history.
Talk about like a generational talent. I'm sure you saw her on stage in Prima Facie and like all the stuff she's done.
Phenomenal.
Like it's just next level. So you have a career as a talent scout. If the acting thing doesn't work out, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's a nice one, Josh. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, yeah, that's